Ladies and gentlemen, I have been trying to make this video as positive as I can for quite some time now. And let me be the first to say that this is not going to be the happiest video you've ever seen. Matter of fact, it might as well be a comedy, just like this anime. If you saw my previous Dan to Dan video, you know that I wanted to talk about the show Uzumaki. At the time that was being recorded, there was only one episode. One! And since then, we've not only gotten the extra 3 episodes, but this includes the end of the Uzumaki series. Now let's just say you have not watched Uzumaki, you would assume that that's a great thing, the series is done. But have you been on Twitter? This series flopped, and it flopped so bad that I am absolutely disgusted. You ever hear about those people that say that they don't watch anime because they don't like the genre? And realistically, they can't deal with the animation because they have whiskey stained glasses. There are currently shows out there that you can give them saying forget the animation, this story is phenomenal. And then there is Uzumaki, a show which animation turns so bad that it affects the story. But listen, it's just better for me to show you, so let's just start off with the good. To begin, everything you see at this portion of the video is only the first episode of Uzumaki. Just to throw around some stats, Uzumaki was in production for a total of 5 years. And that's more compared to delays compared to how much extra time they had to spend starting the series. Now the reason they had to delay Uzumaki was, well, this reasoning here. YouTube doesn't like this word, so we can't say it. But due to so many complications, Uzumaki just got pushed back further and further. Now you would assume an anime that's only 4 episodes in black and white is actually not that hard to create, but looking at this you have to realize that everything is the same color. Therefore, if you have so many things that are almost exactly the same, you have to make sure that your lines are precise. Uzumaki does an amazing job differentiating the background compared to moving characters frame by frame. And even though I am not skilled or experienced to know how hard this is, I'm sure it took them a lot of work to make this happen. Now, how much was this dedication? I'm not too sure, because after the first episode, it completely flops. Because now I'm going to start showing you the other episodes of Uzumaki. Compared to what you've just been seeing on screen, the animation drops horrifically. For example, you can see scenes such as this where characters have terrible running animations. Another example here, things that are supposed to have a severe impact literally don't. Episodes 2 through 4 are littered with bad animation and really bad plot design as well. You see, Uzumaki really runs off of things such as fear. While you know things such as the spiral is the main focal point of this series, there's still other subplots. The problem is Uzumaki does a terrible job making these subplots stand out. Let me just point out some examples at which I have no idea what's going on, so do not ask. The first one I can point out is the spiral within the lighthouse. A couple of bad, stupid kids run to the top of the lighthouse, and for some reason our main character Kirie has to find them. However, once they get to the top of the lighthouse, they realize that some kind of incineration was coming after them. After seeing a couple of corpses already get burned, they decided to run away, and one kid gets caught. And after that, the animation studio kicks in and you can see Kirie and another kid just falling within the steps. I actually don't quite get this scene, they're not outside, so I have no clue what's going on here. Here's another one. What about the story with a lot of ladies within the hospital becoming possessed? There's a whole swarm of them drinking blood and nobody's really stopping them. But of course, when Kirie can't do anything for herself and finds Suichi, they end up finding a pregnant looking monster. And this time, she's drinking blood without using a utensil. But of course, after seeing this, they just kind of move on like they never saw this to begin with. I call that a dead plot. A word about the storm that was swooping around in the pattern of a spiral. At this time, we saw so many things happen at once, it's hard to tell who is who and what's what. At the same time of the storm, we see the stalker of Kirie become a spring-like thing that was actually comical. Another spiral-like creature that seems to be the same dude, but I'm not too sure, that suddenly just attacks them to get swept up in the storm. And also, during the actual tornado that picks them up, they just kind of get swept up and it looks terrible because the animation studio cooked. And listen, there's so many subplots that they just fail with. I want to explain these better, but I can't. And the issue isn't the fact that you have subplots, it's the fact that they rush through them and put them together in one. Realistically, the 3 I just named could have each had their own episode to themselves. But they don't, they simply don't, so if you're an anime watcher and anime only, then you don't know what's going on. By the way, all this happens within the same episode, so take that L. Now, even though I'm whining about the plot, the issue was not the fact it's only 4 episodes, because clearly the animation was not able to carry 4 episodes anyway. Luckily enough for us, we have an important contributor who took to Twitter deciding to talk about what happened with the series. DeMarco here says that many of the people on the team knew that this was going to happen. And well, basically they had 3 different options going into the downfall of Uzumaki. You can either air nothing at all and just call it an L, choose just to air 1 episode and leave the series incomplete, or just air everything together and hope for the best. The best did not happen, but as he says himself, there was someone who was clearly at fault for what happened to Uzumaki. I'm not gonna point fingers or really play the blame game of who it could have been, I really don't care. Because the most important part of the Twitter rant is the fact that it was going to fail and they knew it. And I want to say that the knowledge that the first episode was so much better than the rest is very uncanny. If a creator like DeMarco knew that the series was going to fail after the first season and us as viewers could see that, why did it ever get to the point that it was still going to be released? An example I want to point out is how Kyrie moves from the first episode compared to the second. In the first episode, during one of the scenes, they made her eyes blink back and forth. This was a very small detail that was not needed because she was not the focal point of the scene. But after the first episode, everything that Kyrie does has no flavor to it at all. I mean, look at how still she looks. This was an example that the creators are able to not only see while making it, but us as viewers are able to notice. Overall, I would like to say that the downfall of Uzumaki is very terrifying. Again, this is a show that had years worth of delays as well as only having 4 episodes to air. So if it's that difficult to show an anime that's not even a fighting anime in such good quality, let me stop here because you understand what I would say. That being said, Uzumaki failed and it's unfortunate that I have to make this video. However, I want to know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, if you want to see another video about an anime that did not fail, I have something for you over here. So I'll catch you guys over there. Until next time, you have a good one. Peace.